Just be yourself. Good advice, right? Well, we love it when people are authentic, when their style seems true to their persona. They show us who they really are. Today, in a world of post-truth, AI, and performative trends, we want to avoid seeming fake more than ever, but that can lead us away from being true to ourselves. Whether that's dressing how we want or otherwise, that allows brands to sell us authenticity in an easy-to-consume package. Are we buying our way towards realness rather than working towards it? Should we stop caring about this stuff at all? This is Authenticity here. Let's get real as we talk about authenticity in a hyper-real world. I think it's fair to say qualities like honesty and sincerity are fairly universal positives, but the idea of authenticity in pop culture and media really became a cultural juggernaut in the 90s and 2000s with the reality TV genre. A dramatic inversion of obviously scripted or presented content. Now real people are at the helm.
All I gotta say is that you're a queen, I'm a king, and just walk around.
And this is where we live.
Big Brother, I'm a Celebrity, even the Idol and Got Talent formats reshaped the landscape of TV, allowing the Kardashians, Real Housewives, Love Island to become some of the most talked about pieces of media. Moments feel uncurated, messy, raw, authentic. Maybe it's the human drama, maybe it's the relatability, but there's no doubt that this kind of TV massively resonates with us. It is a huge part of contemporary media, and it's no coincidence that some of the most popular celebrity interview shows are designed to disarm them and show us who they really are. Those create their own huge viral moments. And often whether we love or hate celebrities is very tied up in how authentic they seem. Tyler the Creator shows up as himself, dresses as himself, talks about things interesting to him. Jeff Goldblum has a unique, consistent style and authentic passion for what he likes. Pharrell's music production, fashion, other creative exploits feel like he really lives and breathes this culture and puts his taste into his ideas. The reality TV star, the celebrity, both mega important in explaining how important authenticity is to us, but that's nothing compared to the biggest cultural authentic figure, the influencer or the content creator. And yes, I've been making videos for quite some time, I fall into this category. The greatest selling point of many influencers or content creators is they just like me for real. We supposedly see who people really are through the lens of social media in a way we never could before. Sure, in the early days of influencing, the way to success was through aspiration, showing your heavily curated, perfect life so your followers could live vicariously through you. Cringe, boo, now it's all about authenticity. Selfie camera confessionals, impromptu looking photo dumps, random street interviews, boosted by TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts, which prioritize exactly that sort of content. We get absolutely bombarded by authentic sounding content from authentic seeming people, and this is the tip of the authenticity problem iceberg here. Of course, the current meta of authentic seeming content is no less manufactured than the aspirational glossy stuff we saw before. That's not to say that everything is fake and everyone's lying to you. I think most of the people talking about things online do so because they have a genuine interest. I certainly do. I love making videos about fashion and clothes. But content creators might be sweating over their slide order, batch filming get ready with me's, scripting impromptu sounding videos. In other words, putting effort and intention into making the best possible authentic content. It's no surprise people who aren't content creators have some degree of posting anxiety. We're competing with content creators, not our friends and family when we share something. It would be nice to freely share or document some of those real moments of what we're wearing, and for the last few months I've been using a sort of anti-social network, aiming to do exactly that. It's very new, the founders are looking for feedback, so I've been beta testing this video's paid sponsor, Lekondo. I'm going to be using some of their functionality to illustrate what I'm talking about throughout this video, but you should probably know how this thing works. Lekondo is a combination of single-player utility and multiplayer discovery focused on what you're actually wearing. I'm going to snap a quick mirror pic and upload it, giving me a breakdown of the fit, color, style, even some creative analysis. If you want, you can detail what you're wearing, pulling in retailer info automatically. That can help tell you about your wardrobe. Once you've linked something, you can quickly reselect it next time, so over time you can build up an idea of what you're actually wearing, as well as what styles you gravitate to. Important thing to note here, there are no affiliate links, there are no ads, there are no suggestions of what to buy. The philosophy here is making the best use of what you already own. Its users take that approach with their style, and no monetization means they're here for the love of the game. So yeah, you can see other people's content, but you're discovering what real people are actually wearing, an authentic community. And this being super new, you can help shape this thing. Over the last couple of months, I've seen plenty of features being added and changed, many of them based directly on user feedback. You can help shape this space. They are really trying to build something fashion fans want. Even as I'm editing this, they've just added a massive new feature where you can virtually try on other people's outfits. Another way of having fun with fashion and expression without needing to buy something. If you've ever wanted to borrow my wardrobe, now's your chance. The result is a space which feels like an authentic way to share outfits, and that feels pretty good. If you see clothing as a visual language you dress to express rather than impress, then I would definitely suggest giving it a try. Check out the link in the description, and massive thanks to Lekondo for being a very appropriate sponsor of this video. The popularity of Instagram and TikTok for sharing outfits though is undeniable, and the performative male that's been such a big part of that recently certainly has people thinking about whether outfits they see are authentic or not, whether that be online or IRL. We really want to be perceived as authentic and not performative, and this is where we can fall into a trap. We often shorthand authenticity as being true to yourself, but how we perceive authenticity rests on other factors too. I looked at this psychology paper called The Essence of Authenticity, which describes the 3 C's of authenticity, and the first is consistency. That's when the internal values and the external behavior or appearance are the same. That's the being true to yourself part. Second is connection. This mostly refers to how an object is linked to a specific person, place, time. A Nike shoe is authentic if it was designed by Nike employees and made in a Nike factory. But third is where things get interesting. Conformity. We judge authenticity based on people's social situation. It seems very authentic to wear all black and listen to techno if you're in Berlin, but put that same person in a Scottish village and suddenly they seem inauthentic. Because as this paper mentions, authenticity can be verified by experts, as in the case of authentic object, but it can also just be based on vibes. If the vibes are off, you get branded inauthentic. Sometimes that's fair, it can help us spot trend hoppers and culture vultures, whatever you want to call them, but sometimes it's not, and people unfairly come under pressure to present themselves in a certain way in order to be perceived as authentic. If you're a keen golfer, people would question your commitment if you dress like Jesse Pinkman. Earlier in my YouTube career, even I felt pressured as the techwear guy not to cover other types of fashion or wider topics like this one, even though I've always been interested in a variety of genres. That's partly because I was worried that people just wouldn't really care, but also because I didn't want people to think I was trend hopping, even though I knew my interest in these things was genuine. There is a tendency to view anyone online as the person who does X, these little one-dimensional creatures who have this one kind of specific focus or interest. I've had people ask me quite often when they're getting into techwear or they want to join this kind of style, not just what clothes they should wear, but what music they should listen to, what films they should watch, what games they should play, as if the only way they can put on an outfit is by reinventing their whole identity. I wonder if you've ever felt the same, being apprehensive about sharing a new interest or hobby because it doesn't quite align with other parts of your personality or other things that you like. Ordinarily, I don't think this would be a problem. So what if somebody's interests don't all perfectly align with the way they dress or whatever? The problem is we are hyper aware of the fake and the real. It's a post-truth landscape where fake news manipulates people en masse, generative AI is good enough to fool the average onlooker, and we're all having a good time making fun of performative males. We end up approaching everything through the lens of, can I trust this? Is it real? Is it authentic? We have been trained to constantly think about authenticity. The combination of hyper-awareness about authenticity and how we perceive authenticity in others steers people away from actual authenticity, putting aside genuine interests or not pursuing them in favor of whatever seems to align best with their persona. Again, this is satirized in the performative male trend where everyone seems to be doing exactly the same set of things, but the truth is not that far off, where your average fashion MF also seems to kind of align in the sorts of hobbies that they have, the music that they like, the food that they eat, and it would seem a bit weird if those interests were completely different. And of course, anxiety and awareness about authenticity translates directly into what we consume. Authenticity lies at the heart of many of the biggest fashion trends of the last few years, and that means that brands want to sell it to us. Gorpcore, the uniform of an authentic outdoor fan, someone who wears clothes for function, not just fashion. Quiet Luxury, the authentic uniform of the wealthy. It was pitched as what billionaires really wear, in contrast to the tacky luxury logomania adopted by the middle classes and nouveau riche. Workwear, the authentic uniform of physical labor, products made with intention and function, worn by necessity. And yet in every case, the relationship with authenticity is a shaky one. Fashion fans are not those people, but consumers of their authenticity by taking on the values of that clothing. The soft-handed IT worker grabbing a coffee in a Detroit jacket is borrowing the authentic credentials of the Canadian logger. I have literally done this. This amazing vintage Carhartt jacket looks great, authentically worn, but not by me. Brands know how powerful products are as symbols of authenticity. They will dive headfirst into any one of these authentic seeming trends, whilst communicating and sharing content online in much the same way as individuals. Huge luxury brands go hard on their heritage, their skills, passed down through the generations. They are the real deal, even when the only consistent thing about the business is its name. Small brands sell us on the connection to an individual or a team with a creative vision, really putting everything they have into clothing. We feel really good about doing that. It allows us to more authentically form those person-to-person connections. And how many marketing campaigns are focused on trying to connect to a hobby, subculture, activity? The running community wears our brand. If you're a streetwear fan, our brand belongs on the street more than any other. Buy this clothing, it will make you more authentic. Unfortunately, the more your identity and sense of authenticity is derived from the things you buy, the greater anxiety about appearing authentic is going to be, because authenticity is not a thing you are or are not, it's a moving target. What seems true to you one day is not going to be at some point down the line. And culture changes from seeing things as authentic to inauthentic. Gorpcore's biggest meme is people buying Gore-Tex products and showing them off when they really didn't need them. And what could be less authentic than getting your quiet luxury clothing from a fast fashion retailer? It's easy to get caught up in that cycle of buying things, seeing it turn from authentic to inauthentic, then feeling like you are forced to move on. The ironic thing, of course, is it seems pretty authentic to be regularly switching up your style rather than really dialing in the same thing that you really love. Getting those fits or those individual pieces on lock is ultimately much more satisfying long term. I've certainly got a bunch of things that I've worn again and again and again over the years, or those little accessories that I personally really like that I just find a way to work into every single outfit. If you've been here a while, you know I've worn this watch pretty much every day for half a decade. There's one thing I've been hiding from you that I hinted at a little bit. The paper on authenticity, the point of it was that there's actually a fourth C. Continuity. What is authentic changes over time because we change and grow as people. Authenticity is a process, not a thing we achieve. So it's totally fine for the things that you find authentic to change over time. Now, consumer culture would rather you think, the things I purchased are the problem, I need to just buy more things. But actually it's part of a natural rhythm of change where you are deciding what's enjoyable or cool to you. Naturally, aesthetics and patterns are going to emerge.
Obsession with authenticity can make us susceptible to buying things claiming to fix our problem, and as soon as we perform authenticity, buying stuff with the intention of seeming authentic, we are, of course, inauthentic. So I guess the best way to be authentic is to think about authenticity a lot less, and definitely don't spend hours making a video essay about it.
Well, might as well upload it anyway.